Yeah. Yeah.
Look at me.
Bench mob, they're speaking the facts that you wanna hear. They rep a jersey, the vision is clear. Diamonds glisten like a chandelier. You know what I'm here for, like Marshawn Lynch. At clutch time, we do not flinch. Real brothers, we do not switch. Hit home runs with the right pitch. Who run the city? What to do when they hating on you? I feel like Kobe 2010. I ain't taking an L, all I need is a win. Business is business, you know how they go. You glad the seats, now it's time to grow. Tuning now, gotta be in the know. Showtime, bitch, my butter blow.
I ain't seen from now. Bowser really, I'm just trying to tell you.
Next my podcast. What's up, bro? Welcome back to another episode of the Bench Mob ENT. We got a jam-packed one for you tonight. Everything that's popping off in the NFL free agency. We told you I was going to talk about it. Of course, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about March Madness that's going on. It's started. We are beyond grateful that Miles decided to still do the show after Kentucky losing. So by the time y'all see this, you already know Kentucky lost. So this man is committed. He's committed to the podcast because even while in pain, he's on the show recording. Y'all already know, take care of some house rules. Make sure y'all go subscribe. Make sure you follow. Make sure you like. Make sure you turn on the notifications on IG, on YouTube. We are on all streaming platforms. Rate us 5 stars. You may ask, why do you want us to rate you 5 stars and write a review? Because we're just trying to grow, just like you're trying to grow. Greg, Mr. Hot Takes, Debate Your Mother, sends me. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, bro. I'm ready. I'm ready to discuss some of this mobility in football, man. Let's talk about it.
CJ Money Bags, how you doing tonight?
Speaking about mobility, I wish I had some mobility in the chair. Y'all think it's funny to steal chairs when a dude goes to the bathroom? Like, come on now. What are we doing? What are we doing, bro?
I have a bladder full of piss right now.
He said mobility on purpose. He knew what he was doing.
Oh, so we're literally. I'll post a clip so y'all can see the previous episode. Chris was in a completely different chair. Y'all get it then.
That'd be a funny blooper for the people to see.
Facts. Miles Shiesty, how you doing tonight?
Shit, I'm comfortable.
I bet you is.
I feel good.
Yo,
That's funny. He got me in a banquet hall chair, like. This ain't right.
Hey yo. So speaking of comfortability and mobility and all those things, I don't think Aaron Rodgers right now is comfortable being in Green Bay. Devontae Adams now is a Las Vegas Raider, reunited with his old college teammate Derek Carr. What are y'all thoughts on this trade? What do y'all see for Green Bay? Like, I thought you signed Aaron Rodgers to the big deal. You supposed to. It was all reports talking about they was gonna work it out with Devontae Adams. You keep that pair together. What's going on in Green Bay? And shoot, we definitely have to talk about this too. After we touch on Green Bay, that AFC West is going to be crazy this year. So, Greg, wherever you want to start it, I'm pretty sure we can start Green Bay, but we got 2 heavy ones right there. What's going on in Green Bay and AFC West? Good Lord.
the Green Bay aspect of it doesn't make any sense unless, and I'm thinking about this in real time, the only way it makes sense is if they didn't want to pay Devontae Adams that money. Obviously, they didn't. But the reason why they didn't want to pay him the money is to clear up cap space so they could allocate the money to different parts of their football team and get better. Adding more depth on the offensive line, defensive line, corners, spending money in other areas.
Didn't they say that they wanted to pay, but Devontae wanted out?
Yeah, he didn't want to be here.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
All right, it makes no
anymore.
damn sense at all. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. It doesn't make any sense. That you have the best wide receiver in football. Devontae Adams has legitimately been the best wide receiver in football.
They burned that bridge. He said he'd never play under the franchise tag, and then they franchise tagged him.
But I thought they tagged him to buy themselves time to get to a deal.
Yeah, and then they lowballed him, I guess.
And
when
they pissed
you
him off
look
in
at the contract
negotiations.
now, they gave him 23. He ended up with like almost 29 per year. So
Yeah.
Probably lowball and probably look. We had all this time. I told you I don't franchise tag me. y'all hadn't Green Bay front office. Y'all had nothing else to do. Y'all wasn't supposed to see y'all families for the next couple months. This was supposed to get done before. I told y'all don't franchise tag me, and y'all did it anyway. Wasn't playing games with them, so I don't know where they go from here. Like,
I feel like the other aspect of it was there's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. Like, are you in? Are you out? And I know Devontae Adams didn't want to catch passes from Jordan Love, so he's like, y'all better pay me some bread. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he gets to play with his old college QB,
and he gets the heck out of Wisconsin.
Yes,
that's a win.
And he goes back home.
That's a win.
He goes back home.
I think the real thing is he want to get the heck out of Wisconsin. I don't blame him, honestly.
Yeah.
What's out there? What's it like being black in Wisconsin?
You get a lot of good supply of cheese.
We're in bubble coats all year round.
I don't know if black people getting cheese out there.
North Faces.
We're in that all year round.
They got us looking like
June 1st got a bubble coat on.
They got us looking like Swiss cheese out there.
Tell you what though, this is a big win for Derek Carr. Obviously, a receiver that he's comfortable with, a receiver that he knows, but it's going to allow so much more for their offense. You have Darren Waller, who is a star at the tight end position, arguably one of the best tight ends in this league, top 3 tight end for sure, and has led them year after year in receptions and receiving yards, right? And Hunter Renfrow, the year he had last year, coming into his own 1,000-yard season, paired with Darren Waller, who had 600 and something yards this year. He was injured for a few games, only played 11 games, but having him at full healthy strength, plus Devontae Adams, who's going to draw double coverage, which is going to free up Renfrow and going to allow Darren Waller to continue to make plays down the field. It's going to be amazing for their offense, and I think this is exactly the leap that Derek Carr is going to need to make.
I think this will definitely facilitate in that. They still have a good running game. So just imagine that. We're gonna have the running game with Jacobs, right? The play action on that. If that running game is going at any point in the game, Devontae Adams over top, you got Renfrow, and you got Waller, who can go deep too. 20 yards right there. Derek Carr might have a breakout season this year, like statistically, probably that's a nice amount of weapons right there. Like they're actually trying to put him in a position to actually succeed and do well.
One thing that came to mind too is they lost Henry Ruggs, so they might go get the speedy receiver in the draft right here. Or they might go get a guy like Olave or something like that to blow the top of a defense, because Devontae Adams isn't a blow the top of a defense kind of guy. He's just I'm going to kill you in every way imaginable kind of guy, but he doesn't exactly. He's not a speedster. I think they still have Deshaun Jackson. Actually, now I think about it,
I don't know.
I don't know. I think
he was on 1 year.
He was on 1 year. I don't know. So they don't have to bring him back.
But I mean, even with the play action, like we know he's not a speedster. But if Jacobs is going, if he's rolling in the game, you don't got to be fast for that. We do a play action, you scared of him getting another 7 yards running the ball. Devontae could run a 4.7. He'll get open.
I think they signed Chandler Jones this offseason too.
Yeah.
So this team could win a Super Bowl. Let's keep it a buck.
Max Crosby and Chandler Jones, opposite sides.
Yes, this team can win a Super Bowl. You can win a Super Bowl with Derek Carr as your quarterback. You do not need.
Yes, sir.
You don't need Herbert. You don't need Wilson. You don't need any of these top tier guys. Carr's a very good quarterback, and you win a Super Bowl with him. And he's gonna have his best statistical season because of the chemistry he already has with Devontae Adams, and where Devontae Adams' game is now as opposed to where it was in college. The chemistry these two guys are gonna have, and how fast it's gonna happen. It's not gonna take very long. It's gonna happen quickly. These guys are like family. So when they get on the field together, it's going to get scary. It's going to get real scary because it's easy to throw to an open target. And that guy creates so much separation on his routes. It's not even funny. He's a route master flex. That's what he is.
Speaking of wide receivers, just real quick. Obviously, he's not going to the Raiders, but obviously, Packers are in need of a number one wide receiver. Not saying that this guy is a number one wide receiver, but where do you think Julio Jones will go?
Yeah.
Because he's out there now in free agency. I don't think he's a number one wide receiver anymore, but where do you think
I'm just taking a 1 year deal somewhere to rebuild my reputation. Because, I mean, these last 2 years have been rough for him. He's been out like every other week. It's like 80% of the games he's missed.
He needs to do exactly what AJ Green did. Sign that 1 year contract, go ball somewhere, do really well in that 1 year, get an extension. But where he goes,
go to the Chiefs.
He's definitely going to sign with a Super Bowl contender. You have to, and
And even though he was with the Titans, I mean, Tannehill's not Mahomes, or Herbert, or any of these young quarterbacks coming up. So that's what you got to look at. You got to look at one of these young quarterbacks.
Wait, the Chiefs they don't have a spot because don't they still they give my man Josh Gordon a try?
Man, he could.
Yeah, but they lost Byron Pringle today to the Bears, something ridiculous. They lost a couple of guys. They might have a spot for him, but another place I can see him going to play is
the Giants.
Yeah, we're not in the build. We're not in the contending business these days. It's gonna be a while for that. But I want to lose my train of thought. I just had the team.
Who, the Bills?
The Bills.
Yep.
The Bills is what I was thinking. He can go to the Bills.
Because they're going to lose Cole Beasley.
They already lost Cole Beasley. You know,
I released him.
Cole Beasley's going to go get a shot
Oh,
somewhere
right.
else. Someone's going to appreciate that.
Yeah.
COVID.
He's anti COVID.
Anti-vax.
Anti-vax.
So Julio Jones.
Him and Stephon Diggs would be nasty if he could stay healthy. That's the big
The
risk.
last 2 years has always
But
been
you have
if he can stay healthy.
Gabe Davis as insurance.
Yeah.
Like it's a perfect place for him. Even if he's injured, you don't really feel the injury. You don't really feel it. You know, you don't
You
miss.
can see they're taking risks right now. Like
Yeah.
they just gave Von Miller the bag.
You're selling out to win a championship.
Yeah.
Stay there then with Buffalo. Von Miller got the bag. Buffalo Bills. I mean, we just mentioned the Raiders. We just mentioned the Broncos. AFC is loaded this year. And something that one of our guests that was on, Tanner, said he's a Rams fan. And what he said was fact. Rams, for example, the Packers, they're going to have a way easier time getting to the Super Bowl than teams in the AFC. The Bills, with these additions that they've done, you said they're going all in to try to win a ring. Have they done enough, you think, to put them in that position? Like, with everything that's going on in the AFC, just the AFC West alone, like, are the Bills, do you consider them still one of the top contenders?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, they still got Josh Allen, so that's one step ahead of the game. Now they needed sort of an elite pass rusher to get after these young quarterbacks because, I mean, as we saw in the playoffs, Mahomes and him can go back and forth. You got to put pressure on them and get them off their element. So that's kind of what they need to do.
I think they still have to draft from the pass rusher, in my opinion, too. I don't know if Gregory Rousseau had shown enough last year to, have enough faith to believe that he's going to eat on a line where Von Miller's probably getting double teamed. Maybe Ed Oliver's in that line too. I don't think he's been incredible since he's been drafted, even though he was supposed to be great coming out of Houston. So I think they'll draft another edge guy too. But that team is ready for a championship, period. That team is offensively, you know what they are, even though the Giants have pawned a couple guys from them. But you know what they are offensively. And I don't think that much has to change there. They might go after a wide receiver. I think they definitely go after a wide receiver in this year's draft as well. But the positions they're gonna go after a wide receiver and edge, and they're gonna be ready to play for a championship. That's what. And in these next 2 years, that's what this is about. It's about winning a championship in this little window where you have the cap space, because it's gonna get real tight when Josh Allen's extension really hits you in the cap. Then it's gonna be real hard to win a championship. You gotta do it now. It's your window.
With everything that's happened so far, and obviously the draft has not happened yet, as you mentioned, right? Who would you say are your top 3 contenders, Super Bowl contenders in the AFC?
Oh God!
I mean, you got to put the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Chiefs got to be up there, and then Oakland.
I was going to say the Raiders. He said the 3 teams I was going to say. The Raiders, I think, are a Super Bowl contender. I think they're more dangerous than the Broncos are. I think the Raiders are better than the Broncos are after the moves they've made.
I don't know why, but it kind of feels like the Browns when they were getting all these Super Bowl predictions a year ago. I don't know why, but it's just giving me.
It's giving you that feel.
Well,
it's the offensive
a big letdown.
Yeah, because it's the offensive line. I think in Denver, we touched on this last week. The offensive line, even I didn't think about this, but they're just not that great, And they can invest assets in the draft and maybe bolster the offensive line. I think they will, but if you're looking at these 2 teams side by side, the Broncos and the Raiders, the continuity of last year, what they did last year under the interim head coach Bisaccia, what they did, and then you go out there and get the best receiver in football, and you guys already has a great relationship with your quarterback, and you go out and add Chandler Jones to your defensive line where you already have Max Crosby on that line. They need help with the defensive secondary for sure. They're not done there. They need to get some corners. The corners are horrible. Half the corners have have murder charges on them. So they need to make sure they get guys that don't have criminal records on them. But if they do that and these guys are available, this team is dangerous. I like them more.
Right now, y'all put Las Vegas, AFC West. Y'all got Las Vegas Raiders over Kansas City.
I don't know.
They just got to
I'm
get a
thinking
wild
about
card.
The Chargers too. The Chargers.
The Chargers.
The Chargers.
Too.
J.C. Jackson
Do you know,
J.C.
do you know what I'm
Jackson.
gonna say?
and Khalil Mack.
You know what I'm gonna
Some
say?
good additions.
You know what I'm gonna say?
What, the Chargers are going to be the Chargers?
Yes. The Chargers. Some teams just don't win. And Jay Herbo, as good as he is, you know, I have my concerns.
I forgot who. So somebody hit up the podcast on the DM and was, you know, happy about the signings of the Chargers. And one of the things I mentioned in it too is like, these are great additions, but will a coach get in the way again?
Going for it on every fourth down.
Like,
every
coach-
single 4th and 15, go for it.
These are great
Well,
additions,
that game
but
they had to.
No, yeah, but I'm being
but
ridiculous.
this was a trend the whole season. At least.
It was 4th and 6, 4th and 5.
He was 6 for 6 on 4th down in that game too.
Yeah, and
That's because he trusts his quarterback.
And
I mean,
that's another reason why Herbert's better than Russell Wilson. But I digress.
see how each other sneak that in there and then move on.
Right.
I digress.
Next topic.
Yeah.
I just don't trust the Chargers, bro.
Says it. I
I don't know
digress.
about that.
I digress.
I digress. The point is, I just think
You know what it really is because
I
Russ don't listen to
disagree with
Future.
that, but
Russ don't listen to Future, so
I can't. You listen. I can't say the Lecrae thing again because I know we got some Lecrae listeners or whatever.
that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you listen to Lecrae.
you know that's what it really boiled down to because Greg went to a Seahawks practice and he didn't hear no Future and felt some type of way. Future came on and Russ ran over.
Russ don't even listen to Kirk Franklin.
Hold on, what's the next team we talking about?
Yeah, so let's keep it in let's keep it tri-state area. Your Jets have been out here making some moves. Are the Jets obviously not going to go to the extent and be prisoners of the moment and gas everything up? Do you think the Jets, with the additions that y'all have, again, the draft has not happened, but free agency is kind of the big part of the NFL because the draft, you have some of those players that come ready now. Some are more projects. Are the Jets a playoff team this year?
I mean, it's tough. We got a tough schedule, but we've made some moves that are going to improve the defense. Like we got a couple underrated moves at corner with DJ Reed. We brought in Jordan Whitehead from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We got the 2 tight ends, one from Cincinnati and the other one from Minnesota. So I like that 2-headed punch right there. And if you look at the Shanahan offense, they kind of like tight ends a lot more than, big play receivers. So I'm wondering what direction they go in the draft. But, I mean,
What you think about the Laken Tomlinson signing?
that was great too. I mean, all these moves are just set up to support the quarterback that we have right now. Because, I mean, we haven't done a good job in the past doing that. So next, I think defensive end is a need and receiver now is a need too. Because we need all the weapons because it's a passing league now. And, I mean, we can't get by with Corey Davis. And Elijah Moore is going to be good. A lot better in year 2. But we need more than that.
Yeah.
So
Where did
it's a good step.
Where did Amari Cooper go again?
Browns.
Yeah.
Oh, disgusting. Never mind.
They did.
They got their
Anywho,
own turmoil going on over there.
before
Jets
we
have done a good
before we even start that whole pre-divorce situation, we're gonna go to your team next.
Yeah.
You guys did some big signings for that O-line.
Yeah, one of the first moves in free agency for a big offensive lineman. We got Alex Kappa from the Bucks, and we got Ted Karras, I think his last name is,
Yes,
from
sir.
the Pats. And the beauty about that guy is he can play both center and he can play guard. So Trey Hopkins might be up out of there. But that's going to be huge for us, and it just shows that we're looking to protect Joe Burrow at all costs now. And that's what it comes down to. We still need to figure out the right side, and hopefully we'll address that in the first 2 rounds of the draft, whatever needs to be done. But the Bengals are in a good position right now. The only thing that really hurt us is we lost Ogunjobi. He left, got a big contract. We obviously lost our tight end, signed Hayden Hurst today to a 1-year deal. But if we can get a backup for BJ Hill, we've signed our defensive lineman. If we can get a backup for him, someone to rotate in with him in the draft, another pass rusher, we'll be good. And don't count us out for Leo Collins too from the Cowboys.
Yeah,
He got released
we're
today.
we're not by any means bringing that terrible organization up. We're not bringing them up.
It'd be a good signing for them, though. If you guys got
It'd be a really good sign for them. If I'm Dak, I'm looking like, what are we doing here? If I'm Dak, what? If I'm Zeke, what are we doing here? They have not really made any moves.
They're trying to shed money because
They lost a lot of people. They lost Cedric Wilson.
They're
They
trying
lost
to shed money
Amari
because of
Cooper,
Zeke.
Yeah.
Leo Collins. Yeah, they're set.
They had to make Dak restructure his
Yeah, it's
contract.
because Zeke's contract is killing them now.
Hey, if you make somebody restructure, it got to be Zeke first.
He
Like,
ain't doing it.
I know he's not doing, but I'm saying with his production lately, you
First
gotta
chance
be the first
they
person.
get to cut him or get him up out of town, they don't get him up out of there. The
They
first
better-
chance
they
they
better
get.
hope it's before Pollard is up for next time.
Yeah, because the Pollard's better. Your backup can't be better than your
Yeah.
starter. That's the weird thing about it.
Yeah.
Or you can't be paying your backup starter money if you're going to bench Zeke and start Pollard. Makes zero sense. They really messed this thing up. And thank you for the example, Cowboys, because now I know what my Giants are not going to do, which is pay Saquon Barkley. We're not paying him. So
Facts. And speaking of your Giants,
Well, he wasn't even on that level of a Zeke.
he just hadn't played enough.
Yeah,
He hadn't played enough. He just hadn't played. Yeah. But yeah, we're not. No chance we're paying him. Please continue.
I just want to perfect transition. The Giants,
to the New York Football
Danny
Giants.
Dimes days are limited. Obviously now you
All
bring
right.
in.
Well, it's a short leash with Tyrod there now.
That's what I'm saying. His days are limited. He don't have as much as y'all said. Before free agency started, like we believe in Danny Dimes. Y'all went and signed. My
Brother.
man.
I don't think the Tyrod Taylor signing is writing on the wall for Daniel Jones in terms of his future being up in New York. I don't think that's what it is. I think that the Giants have been running out their mediocre QB2s for a long time with Mike Glennon, Jake Fromm. The list is Colt McCoy, and they can't do that because Daniel Jones gets hurt.
It's a 2-year deal.
Oh yeah, and they might have him an idea where like, hey, he could be our bridge guy if Daniel Jones doesn't work out. They have to. First of all, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. I'm not going to say Daniel Jones for sure isn't going to work out because I don't know that to be the case. I think he still can play. I think I would not be surprised if Daniel Jones is a Kirk Cousins situation where, okay, he has a good enough year to justify bringing him back. Maybe you're picking high enough to draft your next quarterback of the future. You don't have the draft capital to go up and get your guy in the next draft. Mm-hmm. So you keep him, you franchise tag him until you get your guy in there. That could be what happens. And hopefully you handle that situation better than Washington did because Washington went out there and signed Carson Wentz, which is garbage. And he wore the ugliest suit I've ever seen in my life, by the way. That was the ugliest suit I've ever seen in my life. That
crazy
was so
crazy part. My man said, "No, I've had this in the closet for a while."
Wow.
Yeah,
like
for finally get to wear it.
For what? Why were you even saving that? What occasion?
His wife bought it for him.
All right. Anyways, so with the Giants situation, I think that Daniel Jones can be a guy who survives here. But let's talk about the signings. Let's get off Daniel Jones. It ain't about Daniel Jones. Tyrod Taylor, I love it. I think Tyrod Taylor is last year he played phenomenal football up until the injury. Came back, kind of tailed off a little bit, but he's also playing for the Texans, so whatever. It was what it was. I think he can be a really good backup for us, and I think we have one of the best backups in football now, which I love. I love the situation for us. It can come in and operate the offense. They've made a couple of signings on the offensive line. I like too, just to add some depth. They have the best draft capital of any team. I think they have like 10 picks in the top 100, Miles. Don't look like that. 10 picks in the top 100. And this is a draft where the first round is not the richest part of the draft. It's your mid-round picks that are going to make you some money. So you can go get Trey McBride, the tight end, who we need a tight end. We can go get a tight end. We can go get offensive line help. We can go get Zion Johnson from Boston College, guys like that. Alec Lindstrom out of BC. Like we can get guys to help fill out the rest of the line. Have something really nice and sustainable around here. I think there are some more big cuts coming from the Giants. For all the Giants fans listening, there's some more big cuts coming. James Bradbury is having a cut or traded, and you already lost Logan Ryan today. I think there's another one coming.
Where'd he go?
Nothing would surprise me.
He just got released?
Who?
Logan Ryan?
Logan Ryan got released today. There was no trade market for dude, which is weird to me. But
he's gonna ball out wherever he goes.
He's a good player. He just wasn't a fit here. I do find it interesting they cut him because they didn't really
sure
save
he
much
asked
money.
for it.
It's either he asked for
he's
it.
from the area. He's from South Jersey. So
It's either he seemed excited when we made the signings on Twitter. He was like talking about Dable. Oh, I'm excited, yada yada. I don't know if he asked for it. I think the Giants let him go because he was in the fit with schematically what Wink wants to do. I think that's more likely what it is. Wink blitz all the time. And I know Logan is a relatively good blitzer. I think Jabril Peppers is a better fit for our defense than Logan is.
Wait, is he still a free agent?
Jabril is technically a free agent right now, but he'll probably resign with the Giants because he had an injury. It's just easy to rehab here. You know what I mean? So I think the Giants, they're doing what they have to do. You have to undo the mess that Gettleman made. It ain't going to be pretty. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants won 6 games this year, 6-7 games. We'll see how this thing all plays out.
Let's put it on the calendar. Because what happened last year?
6 ain't really.
Last year it was 10.
It was 10.
10 and 7.
And a lot of people fell into the trap. I will say this.
Expectations.
I will say this about the free agency. I think the Giants are finally doing the right thing. Stop overspending. All this overspending stuff is overblown. Teams that overspend, I know that their wins go up for the following year, but long term, those signings always come back to bite you in the butt.
I mean, look at Jacksonville.
Look at the areas. Yo, Jacksonville's doing exactly what
Jacksonville's out here like they cash money in the 99s.
Bro,
2000s.
but they're doing exactly what Gettleman did last year. It doesn't work. And also, Christian Kirk making as much money as Goddard is weird. Okay? It's just weird.
Last I checked. The numbers on
Kirk
that.
had a touchdown last year.
I hate this guy.
He's the number 3 highest paid wide receiver right now.
Which is wild.
Kirk is not that good. He's not that good.
A number 3.
No.
He's not even a top 5 wide receiver.
He got 84 million, right?
Yo, Zay Jones got 30 M's from them. Zay Jones got 30 M's. They gave Evan Ingram $10 million to go drop balls out there.
Zay Jones had 2 touchdowns over the past 2 seasons.
If I'm Zay Jones, I'm saying what I said too, that, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. Y'all just paid me the bag that I was not getting anywhere else.
Right.
Anywhere else.
Trevor Lawrence is going to be good, though.
Of course, I'll go up there and be like, I don't want to put pressure on him, but I think Trevor Lawrence is a Hall of Fame quarterback. I ain't got no choice but to say that. Guys just gave me this bag. I don't deserve this bag.
Support the organization.
Also, what is going on with Zay Jones' head? Y'all see that picture of his hair, bro?
Yeah, man. It's bad. It's bad.
Nigga like Easy E.
Who'd they get as their coach?
The Jags?
Yeah.
Who the Jags got?
What
They
is
got
that?
Doug P.
Doug Peterson.
That's right. Yeah. All right.
They got a good coach. He gets a lot of the tight end
Not a
position.
good coach, yeah.
But they have Dan Arnold, and they went and spent $10 million on Evan Ingram. Make it make sense. Why did you do that? Dan Arnold's a better player than Evan Ingram. I'm not sure why you needed a $10 million backup at that position. This is a weird way to allocate your money. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Evan's going to be the backup?
Who?
Evan Ingram?
Evan Ingram's the backup. He's the tight end too over there. He's not better than Dan Arnold. Dan Arnold catches the ball, so that's for starters. That's where you start.
Yeah.
Evan Ingram can't catch. He catches the ball like with the gator chop. Who catches footballs like that? Like that doesn't make any sense. You're not what the Jacksonville Jaguars do. It reeks of desperation.
Because when they announced that the signing on Instagram, the highlight that they showed of Evan Ingram catching the ball was him like ripping it out in the air like that in the end zone.
He makes some cool plays. The guy looks good running. He looks good when he makes plays, but he just most of the time doesn't make plays. It's just that simple. A lot of the picks that Daniel Jones has thrown in his career is just bounced off his hands. He's got hands made of cement. So, moral of the story is Daniel Jones not as bad as you think, and Evan Ingram is worse than you think. Moral of the story.
Yo, one thing I can say about Greg, the man's loyal, bro.
Yeah.
The man is loyal.
I don't think Daniel Jones is as bad as people think, bro.
See, this is how I was with Sam Darnold.
No, it ain't Sam Darnold. Daniel Jones is better than Sam Darnold.
I gave up. Hell no.
Daniel Jones is better than Sam Darnold. Yes,
Hell no.
Daniel Jones is better than Sam Darnold. You're out of your mind, bro. No way.
Run it up in the polls. Run it up.
Daniel Jones is better than Sam
that.
Darnold, bro. Sam Darnold's. Are you kidding me?
He's won games.
Sam Darnold's no, give me a break, bro.
And what is Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones is not.
Why do you think they brought Tyrod in?
Yo, it's an insurance policy. The guy always gets hurt.
No.
The guy always gets hurt.
Yeah, exactly. And he's going to be up out of here. He's going to be on the bench by week 6.
No, you won't. You think just supplant him like that? Just come in here and supplant him?
They already got a better quarterback on the roster.
Listen. I think that Tyrod Taylor is going to compete for the spot. I do think it's going to happen. I just think Daniel Jones is going to win the job. Okay, it's his job to lose. I expect him to win the job and play good football most of the year, and we'll see where it takes us. With good offensive line play, what happens against the Saints will happen week in and week out. That's who he is when you give him good line play. That's who Daniel Jones is. Daniel Jones is closer to. I'm telling you, like it's closer to Kirk Cousins than anything else.
You can't say stuff like
No,
that.
I can't. Why not? I watch him all the
stuff
time.
like this.
I watch him all the time. He's not Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's inaccurate. Okay, you saw what the Giants did to him last year. when Daniel Jones played a good game against Sam Darnold, they went head to head. Okay, go look at the head-to-head matchup. What happened? Sam Darnold played like trash. I think four interceptions, 5 interceptions.
What's Daniel Jones' excuse?
What do you mean? He played well in that game. Daniel Jones' problem wasn't the interceptions last year. It was really the offensive ineptitude all around. It wasn't like he was the reason why the Giants were bad. Daniel Jones is not the reason why the Giants are bad. The Giants are bad because of ineptitude everywhere else. The offensive line is horrible. The receivers can't stay on the field. The receivers don't run crisp routes. Evan Ingram's just the ball's bouncing off his hands and hitting him in the face and all types of crap and turning it into interceptions. Okay, it's not Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is not the Giants' main problem. Okay, what I'm saying is facts. If you watch the Giants, I'm telling y'all facts right now. You got to take it for what it is. Sam Darnold not better.
I hope.
Tua not better either, by the way.
Oh hell!
Went and got Teddy B. Went and got
Teddy B.
doing
this again.
Went and got Teddy B.
We're not doing this.
I'll say this right now. Neither of them can hold a candle to Joe Burrow.
No one's talking about Joe Burrow. You don't give a damn about Cincinnati.
No one can hold a candle to Joe Burrow.
Cincinnati. He's blown mine.
You feel me?
Talking about Cincinnati for no reason. Cincinnati.
And for all y'all listening, I'm an OG Cincinnati fan since '95, baby.
So
talk about Cincinnati.
Same situation. It's 2 a days number with them bringing in Teddy Bridgewater. Are we looking at the same type of situation?
Think about
It's
it.
another situation like them where
New coach.
he gets hurt pretty often. What, new coach? You think he wants
McDaniel comes in? McDaniel comes in.
I don't think
Dable
so. I don't think
comes
so.
in.
Because look, remember, let's point this point out. Let's point this fact out, right? Part of the issue why Flores got the heck up out of it is because he didn't believe in Tua. I highly, highly doubt whoever got hired was not basically told Tua is our guy. So you're going to start off with Tua, but I think, like he said, Tua at some point is going to get injured. Teddy B's going to step in, be the professional that he is. Great backup. He's going to ball out. They're going to get on a winning streak. And then it's going to be a situation where we're going to be like, again, when Fitzpatrick was doing well, do we bench Fitzpatrick or bring back Tua? I think it's going to be the same situation.
So to my point, Tua is not safe out here in these streets, and I don't know why we're giving him the nod over Daniel Jones like he's any better at all. They're in the same situation. New coach come in, new regime come in, new system come in. Okay, cool. But Daniel's going to eventually get his guy at quarterback. That is not his guy. For to start out, yes, cool, whatever. He'll kumbaya, whatever, do all the Hawaiian dances to him, want to do all that. And then
but they're also going to run a different offense than whatever they were running with.
Run heavy. You know, San Fran, run heavy offense. Play action.
That's his game. Play action.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure the Giants
are going to.
I'm sure the Giants are going to implement. I got the Chiefs offensive coordinator. I've got Brian Daboll in the best the best offensive football. Why would I be worried about it? I should feel better about my situation.
Can't wait.
I should feel better about my situation than Tua. If I'm Daniel Jones, I feel better. I'm in better hands. I have offensive minds all around me.
I'll tell you this. You just mentioned all those offensive minds, right? If you don't play well this year,
he's gone.
You don't. No, of course. We already know he's gone anyway. Yeah. I'm saying you can't come on the show and defend this man the way you defend this man. If he don't succeed,
here, I'm gonna buy you a Tua shirt and you gotta wear it on the episode.
One quarterback that's back that low key might. Outside of Davante Adams thing happening, it was probably the biggest news in NFL. Tom Brady spent 2 months, took his kids on vacation, took Giselle on a couple shopping sprees, and was like, "This ain't it for me. I'm back." But the Bucks team don't look like the same Bucks team that went to the Super Bowl. What's going on with that situation in Tampa? Brady's back, but they don't really look like a Super Bowl contender. I mean, they signed back Godwin. He's back there. But they lost offensive linemen. One retired. Should have Tom Brady just stayed at home? Because this don't look. He's only here to get rings. He's in the same category with Bron. I'm here to get rings. Brady already has the records now. Bron's still chasing the record. Brady has the records. With how this team is set up, is this really a Super Bowl contender?
No, but that's why I can see them going after Julio Jones heavy because Godwin's going to be out beginning of the season, and him and Mike Evans is a good pair right there. And they're not bringing Antonio Brown back, so if Tom Brady's going to throw passes, he needs weapons. And I mean, this team is lacking in that
Big time.
aspect. I mean, I think Fournette's gone.
Is he?
Where'd he go?
He might be. I don't know. They lost a lot. They got raided.
Yeah.
They got raided in free agency.
Luckily, they brought their center back. Who's it? Jensen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they got worse still. The left tackle still held down with Donovan Smith. I think
We
him.
took their guard.
Yeah, you took. Yeah, I know. You can bring up Cincinnati again. Thank you.
I didn't even say the team, but thank you for giving us clout.
Hey, y'all both plug your teams.
I don't plug my team like that. I don't plug my team like that.
You can't plug your team because this is just embarrassing to talk about.
Hey, did we beat y'all last year?
Yeah.
And I was at that game. That thing hurt.
You got that one coming.
Yeah, they still he's a free agent, but it's not as of right now. They're not thinking that he's coming back though.
I think the real reason why Tom came back is because Tom got back to the crib and realized he had to deal with the backlash of kissing his son on the mouth so many times. And his son wanted to fight him when he got home. And he was just like, you know what? I got to go back. I got to go back to work. I'd rather get hit by 400-pound men. I don't care what happens. I just can't look this guy in the eye after kissing him in the mouth repeatedly on a documented television. There's document that you can look this up. Tom Brady be kissing his son dead on his mouth, bro. It's sick. He's a sick man, bro. And he be kissing his dad dead on his mouth. And I don't care what nobody say. That is not normal. He needs to seek help. He needs to seek help. I don't care what nobody say. Tom got to seek help immediately. That is not normal behavior. Let me ask any of y'all. Do y'all be kissing y'all dads dead smack dab on your mouth? Yo, Chris, your dad gonna see this. And your dad gonna be like,
he know what it is.
Chris,
he know what it is.
Big Chris gonna look at this and be like, yo,
this is what we do.
That's
it.
That's what I'm saying,
bro.
Look, this ain't no toxic masculinity. You can't be kissing your son dead on his mouth. He's 13 years old, bro. That can't be. Yo,
dropping him off at school.
Forget the son.
Tonguing his son down. All type of weird stuff.
See?
Forget the son, man. Even on the aspect of his father, too. That's at some point. When did that stop? Him and his father.
Son, there's a picture of them at the Super Bowl in a full embrace. He don't kiss Giselle like that.
Yeah, back to the football thing.
Right. No, it's
wait,
Tom,
can we all agree on this? Tom knew he wasn't retiring, right? He wanted to keep his name. He wanted to keep his name and his legacy going. He knew he was coming back.
I think the thing is, they got the whole plan of what happened just kind of got spoiled. Adam Schefter released the information. He has his own production company. He didn't want it to come out like that. And I'm sure the family aspect played a role in it too. Giselle said, bring yourself home, spend some time with the kids, spend some time with me. He was doing that, and it was weirdly being done, like posted, like kind of like, hey guys, I'm on vacation. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do with my family. I'm marking it off so I could come back.
And at the end of the day, he said, F them kids. Going back to work.
Essentially. Essentially.
Yeah, that's cool, bro. I mess around with this Tom Brady situation, but if I'm being serious, I don't know what the Bucs are gonna look like. We have to see if this all take shape. I think they'll still be a competitive team in the NFC. It ain't like he has a gauntlet of QBs to get through anymore.
No.
Oh, he'll have to deal with Deshaun one way or another.
Atlanta or the Saints.
I think it'll be Atlanta. We'll talk about Deshaun. We'll get to Mr. Cosby, but still,
hey, we're done with that. Yo.
Hey,
just because
y'all did mention it. It's civil court still.
It's civil court still. Yeah, just when he went on Twitter and turned to Pastor West talking about the Lord will set me free. It don't mean that he's actually he's clean, bro. It don't mean that he's clean. He may not be clean, bro. I don't know. 22 women is not a coincidence. 22 is a lot. 22?
I don't think everybody was lying.
All right.
Everybody can't be lying. 22?
Look,
22?
Think about it this way.
Only person in this whole world where you could definitely say 22 people are lying to you is Jesus. And last time I checked, Deshaun Watson, not Jesus. So it was multiple people lying on Jesus when he got crucified. So
come on, bro.
That's Jesus. Deshaun Watson, 22. And part of the stuff that came out in the actual, case, they said it was mentioned that some of them he admittedly said it was consensual. So at some point, all 22, it was consensual.
And the articles were bad. It was like him getting massages and he's butt naked under his towel. She walks away to go grab some more essential oils or whatever she had to go get. And this dude flips over, and next thing you know, he's just poking out at her. And that's what we're talking about. Like
essentially. That was the reports. Like going OD like that.
OD, like on some weird stuff. Like bro thought this was like a movie. Like just it's crazy.
Yo,
rubbing himself on people.
Yo, it's great to be afforded.
I'm keeping it in the That's in the article. That's in the article. That's in the article. I'm telling you what's in the article, bro.
Hey, and it's great to be afforded to be in that position of celebrity status and having money because old girl standing by her man.
She left DeJounte and she.
I don't know what to think about this. By the way, I don't know how to feel about it.
I don't know either.
It's not my business.
He's admitting that some of them they got it.
Strange.
They got the
It wasn't like he was very forthcoming with you. You found out through the press. You found out through that scathing article I read.
Were they together at the time that these happened?
Oh, I don't know.
That's above my pay grade.
That's
I mean,
I'm
that's
sure
above my pay grade.
You got some kind of Sherlock following us. I mean, there's any woman could find out. Women find out everything. So I'm sure any woman who follows the podcast can find out if just match up the receipts and see if they were together when the accused malfeasances happened. But
this man over here getting people to work at Shade Room to go find out the information.
Go find out. Line up the receipts. I don't know. At the end of the day, that's the least of his problem. You're gonna have to pay these girls out. But we gonna talk about the football aspect of this, I guess, because I guess that's not as much fun. That's not as much fun to talk about, but we can talk about the football aspect.
I mean, when you look at it, I don't think the Bucs turn out to be anything special on the football aspect. Like you said, you got in the NFC, you got Brady, A-Rod, Deshaun will be over there. That's about it.
NFC is weak. Like Debo said, it's weak over here.
I'd rather be in the weak conference. I don't know why you're not crying right now. I don't know where you're gonna get a reprieve from next couple of years.
Did I miss any?
It's no breaks for the Jets.
Did I miss any quarterbacks?
I don't know. You better compete in that division.
No, I don't think so.
And you know how you gonna compete with the Pats when they're still a well-oiled machine with Mac. What's his name? McCorkle Jones.
The time is coming.
When?
The time is coming.
When's the Jet gonna finally take liftoff? Because right now it's still on the ground.
We didn't even have the draft yet.
Yeah, I got a blown engine right now. Y'all got a blown engine. That's a Delta flight, my boy.
This man is
the Spirit flight.
Right?
He said the Spirit flight.
This man is on a roll.
He said you took the Spirit flight.
But I mean, if we being realistic, Spirit joined with Frontier, so that's basically Jets and Giants, Spirit and Frontier. If we really be honest,
the Giants right now.
Y'all not in the
Giants.
Y'all not unscathed in this.
The Giants are definitely a low tier flight. Like
y'all Frontier, they Spirit.
We're a goddamn
the Giants or
something.
The Giants are the Frontier. Y'all Spirit Airlines.
We over here delivering Amazon packages, flying out of Morristown Airport. It's not a good situation for the Giants.
Oh man, do you even want to? Because we talked about it. Do you even want to go into the 20? Do you want to talk about it?
I mean, we could.
Who's
our final four?
Yeah, who's your final four picks for the 20?
Who's your final four, dog? Cincinnati? They're not in it.
PG trying to come at me.
They're not in it.
Listen.
Yo,
today's show been on one.
You mad about being called Spirit?
Hey, it's all right. Y'all was Spirit 2 years ago. We see how far people can
listen,
come.
Hey, I'm gonna give you that because we were Spirit for a long time.
Yeah,
we were Spirit for a long time, but you're not gonna stay Spirit forever.
Exactly.
Spirit.
Frontier, my boy.
Frontier.
But
the tournament. I think the Cinderella team. I want people to pay attention to because look, I ain't gonna sit here and pick a Final Four like I know what the hell is gonna happen. We don't know what's gonna happen. No. Okay,
that makes it fun. That's why people do brackets every year.
But I don't bet, so that's the problem. I don't enjoy
that
kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's free brackets.
He's over here like, oh shoot, I gotta put money down for this.
Yo, are you kidding me? Yo, listen, the UAB is my team, my Cinderella team to watch. Now, I'm sure by the time you guys listen to this, UAB will have already lost because that's the way this thing seems to work. But UAB is my Cinderella team.
For those that don't know, who's UAB?
University of Alabama, Birmingham, and they got my boy Jordan Walker, who's playing good basketball. I don't actually know him, but so my boy was Miss
That's why you said my boy, not my bro.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
You have to make that
use
clear.
it in the right
I
context.
use the right
My
context.
guy.
My guy. That guy. But he's been playing good ball, and I always liked him coming out of high school and out of the whole Jelly fan movement. I thought he was one of those guys that had a chance to actually play basketball at a high level. Him, Javon, even Isaiah, which I mean that didn't really pan out the way I wanted to. That kind of didn't work out. But
where he at right now? By the way?
I don't know,
Overseas.
Slovenia or something. I don't know, Slovenia, Croatia or something. But the point is, I think that he's playing real good ball, and he's the kind of guy who can kind of spark plug you and get you on a run. But and Davidson, we talk about Davidson, they're a good team to watch too in this whole thing.
Yes, sir.
All right, if we're talking about two teams that they can win this whole thing, like legitimately, Arizona and Gonzaga are two teams to watch. I think they're both really dangerous. Gonzaga damn near lost today. They were playing a real tight one until they got away from them. But they're still a very talented team with NBA guys on that team. So I think they specifically Chet Holmgren. So I think they have a chance to win the whole thing and Arizona is dangerous and very, very good, and it could be their time as well. But we all know that there's a couple upsets that are guaranteed to happen in this whole thing as well. I personally think Duke doesn't make it to the Final Four. I'll tell you that right now.
Nope.
They kind of
I don't
smell it
believe
and
in
they
Duke.
could falter and fold. It just feels like it as well.
That would be great for Coach K's last year.
Oh my God, to see him go out that way. He's had a couple really embarrassing losses and tough losses this year. With that
It was
recruiting
beautiful.
class,
It was beautiful for me. I'm straight this season. UNC, I've been UNC Chapel Hill from birth.
me too.
For them to beat Coach K in his last
That felt
game,
great.
home game with 200 former athletes there, you got celebrities there and whatnot. And for him, the first thing he says when he gets up for their little celebration, this was unacceptable. I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it.
they got the paws put on him.
And it was a bad loss. And they're not great. You're retiring, go hang with the kids and USA basketball. He's podcasting now. You go podcast, take this L, you're not winning the chip. Gladly. I'm glad this is how it's ended.
Can we? There's something that don't sit right with me about this team, bro.
Who, Duke?
About Duke, bro. And besides the fact that they're Duke, they gave John Shower the job, right? He's the next guy. He was chosen as the heir apparent by Coach K.
Are you don't talk about one of his assistants?
Bruh, the light skinned dude. What's his name? I want to remember.
Dawkins or
It's not him, bro, and it's not Nolan. He's been there forever, 20 years. 20 years with this guy.
I think he took a coaching job somewhere else, and that rubbed Coach K the wrong way.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
I actually don't see him on the list of assistant coaches anymore.
No, because I was talking to my pops about it, and he's upset about it because he's like, "Damn, this guy hasn't even been on staff for that long, and he's just,
Getting
kind
the
of being gifted a top 5 job in the country."
top 5, top 2.
Yeah,
Top 2 job. And you're right. I don't see the guy on the list anymore. I think he left, which is crazy because his timing was interesting. But I mean, he'd been there for 20 years. He put his time in. And honestly, Coach K probably knew at some point he's going to retire a little bit before he did, at least a year
I'm
before
sure
he
he
did.
was probably the guy. But then once he left, he's like, "Oh shoot, you're not sticking around all the way through."
Mm.
And
So-
I think that rubbed him the wrong way. So he's like, "You know what? I'm
Rub
giving
these-
As you can see, he's not a Coach K fan. Another Duke guy, and that's fine. Look, Duke will be Duke. Duke's going to get more good players. Duke's going to continue to, they've
They
changed
got
a
a good
lot.
one coming.
Yeah.
They got a good
Class?
Good
the
class.
guy from Jersey."
Which guy? McKenzie?
My man, that's over at Monteverde, right?
Oh, Derek.
Derek Whitehead.
Yeah, Derek Whitehead is very good.
Very, very.
Derek
very
Whitehead is
good.
better than any guard they have right now. Trevor Keels. I like Trevor Keels a lot. He's better than Trevor Keels is tough. I think he's better than but he's better than any guard they have right now.
I know you don't watch. Give me your final four.
I don't want. Oh.
Women's.
Yeah, give me your final four.
Oh,
Women's.
you went to the women.
Happy International Women's Month.
I love women.
Well, I definitely don't think UConn's making it. Like the way they played this year, they just don't look good at all. And then without Paige, things started to unravel a little bit. And I don't know. I think I like NC State. South Carolina, Louisville, and Stanford.
Do you think South
those
Carolina?
are all top teams. This is like women's basketball is really top heavy. So
Yeah, yes, it is.
Do you think South Carolina gets it done this year?
I mean, Dawn's a good coach.
She's
Phenomenal
We're
coach.
talking about Don Staley.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I don't watch women's basketball, right?
You really don't.
Haley Van List. I'm in Louisville. I don't watch
Louisville.
Throwing names.
I don't watch basketball.
You know her because she dated Jalen Suggs.
He be seeing the clips.
I've been knowing Haley Van List for a while. Lefty, she's tough. I've been knowing Haley
He
Van
wasn't looking at the Duke coaching staff. He was looking at.
List. I've been on
Let
it.
me throw some names out there.
And Caitlin Clark is like that.
They ain't making it. They ain't making it.
Yeah.
No, of course not. But she's like that, regardless.
I think Stanford is the team to beat.
Cameron Brink.
And you know whose sister's on that team?
Russell Wilson. She's still there? I thought she graduated.
She's still there.
Russell Wilson's sister on the team?
Yeah, she did.
I wonder if she listens to the future or not.
I knew it.
She's a great.
I got
defender,
South
though.
Carolina. I got South Carolina winning for the women's. I think Dawn Staley them get it done this year. And then I got in the men's. I'm going with Gonzaga getting it together this year. They've been the number 1 overall seed the last 2 years. I think, like Greg mentioned, it's a lot of NBA players on that squad. So I think they get it done actually this year and actually win the whole thing. And something that Chris brought up that was great. So we mentioned Gonzaga, and they have some NBA players on the team. What players right now, whether they're freshman, sophomore, I don't think anybody's going to talk about any seniors, but any players in college right now where their games actually will translate to the NBA?
Kid from Auburn, Jabari Smith.
Jabari Smith. I have a sleeper for y'all. Jabari Smith is yes. And we could go over the guys in the mock drafts and all that. But for me, I think one guy whose game is going to translate well that people don't really talk about enough. I think Javon's game is going to transfer nicely to the NBA. I think Javon's going to be a better NBA player than he is a college player, which is pretty high praise. But I think because of the way the NBA is played, if you think about his skill set, you run a lot of high pick and rolls, a lot of ice, a lot of drops.
For our listeners that may not be tapped in like you are, Javon, that's his first name.
Javon Quinterly out of Alabama. Yes. I didn't say his whole name. I said it like I know him or something. Javon Quinterly out of Alabama, the point guard out of Alabama, number 13. If you guys watch, I think he's a guy who has a chance to have a nice NBA career for real. Like on some think Jalen Brunson type role where like he can come in and get you a bucket. And Jalen Brunson's really good, okay, and maybe not as good as him, but just like around that level. On that level,
he get on the right team, right situation.
It could be a nice fit because just the way he plays and like again, his ability to create his own shot, his ability to create for others, his creativity off the bounce. Like there's nothing you can really do. He's kind of like there's nothing you really do to throw him off his track. You don't speed him up because he's got everything in his bag in terms of being able to handle the ball. I like, and he can shoot. So I like him a lot.
I want to correct something real quick. We said right team, right situation. That you can say that pretty much for
everybody,
any player in the world. It's really so much the coach that lets him play the game.
Yeah.
Because we see people get drafted like, yo, they would fit perfect in the system. But if the coach doesn't want to use them that way, if we have some of those coaches still to this day still have the mentality of these younger players got to earn their minutes, got to earn their minutes. They got to do certain things before they get playing time tips. So we still see that in the league now. So it's more so the coach and the organization that believes in these players can flourish because we see players that get the ball in their hand from day one. They get a lot of usage rate, and other players who might have been viewed as even better or talented or more skilled get in a situation where it's like, nah, we're not going to put you in a position to succeed. We're not going to give you the rock that quick. We want you to work for it. We want you to earn it. And it's different.
And you got to earn your minutes. I agree with it to some extent, but I feel like, especially it depends on your team situation. If your team was expected to be at a certain place in the standings and they aren't, and you're not getting minutes, like that's kind of when it's hard for a rookie to grow. That when you're just stubborn and you're approaching, you're playing the same vets and all that stuff. You got to play the young guys. And I know I feel like it feels like I'm taking shots at Knicks fans right now in this situation, and I kind of am. But I'm also talking about just in general. Like it's just a general point.
I was taking shots because I can't stand Tibbs.
Yeah, Tibbs is, and apparently they're bringing him back next year too, which is crazy. I saw that report.
Oh man.
But
hard times in New York.
Hard times in New York.
Hard times in the
Gotham City, not Brooklyn. But
Gotham Square Garden.
Gotham Square Garden. But nah, man, I think Javon Quinterly is a good guy to look at. I like the guy Trevor Keels out of Duke too. I'm just trying to pick guys that you may not have heard of. Trevor Keels too, as well. I think Davidson has a really nice, good player that looks real good out there. And I'm not gonna try to say the name. I'm not trying to mess up his name at all. But he's very solid, and you'll know who he is when you watch him. He's the wing over there. They have can shoot the ball real nice. I try to find the guys that are not on people's radar, but there are a lot of guys in this tournament you're going to see that are going to really surprise you and play good basketball, and they're going to make a name for themselves and also put themselves on the map in terms of the draft. There's guys that are going to do it.
Hey, Chris, before we close out, talk to us real quick. You said before we started the show off air, and at some point we'll have a cameraman, so we were recording the whole time and off air, and I'll see behind the scene bloopers and whatnot. If any camera want to come do that, holla at us. But you said you don't think Chet Holmgren's game will translate into the NBA. Talk to us about that.
Only, and there's a caveat to this. Only if he doesn't put on weight. He's too frail right now to be playing in the NBA with people that are as big as Bron, people that are as big as Giannis. You watch him tonight. When he goes in the paint, he can get a bucket, right? Because he's towering over everybody. But when they had people jumping up and trying to swat him, the way he jumps, he's not going into the contact because he doesn't have the muscle to go into that contact. Chet Holmgren has all the skills to be successful in the NBA. He has the handles. He can shoot the ball. He can rebound. He can block shots. But when you're going up against grown men, people like Bron, people like Giannis, people that have athletic ability, the DeAndre Jordans of the world, right? People that are strong and can really, really send your stuff. That's going to be a problem for him. And I think, he's definitely someone that's obviously going to take it seriously and put on the weight. He's going to get, have the right trainers around him, and he'll be fine. But if he stayed where he was right now, and for some people, it's hard for him to put on weight. He's so tall. He's so lanky. He grew so quick. When you watch him play, sometimes he still doesn't look comfortable when he comes down from a rebound. He's falling all the time, and you saw it a little bit tonight. But I think he'll be fine. But that's the only thing I'm worried about with him is the size factor of it. Some people like KD, it's not easy for people to put on muscle. KD is just a special talent.
It's also stronger than he looks.
That's fact.
Yeah, they don't feel out the same.
I think that's what it is too. Right?
They don't feel out the same.
They don't feel out the same.
And it's hard when you're how tall was Chet? 7'1", something
like that.
Crazy.
I think the thing is too, he still has to, like you said, he has to put on some more. I don't think it's weight. I think it's more muscle. And the thing is, when you're that tall, especially playing basketball, it's not like football where you might want to, probably put on more muscle and weight. Basketball, you still want to be able to have your mobility, your flexibility. So I think once all season hit, especially when he gets ready for NBA training camps and NBA workouts, he will never, I don't think, same like him, Porzingis, KD, they will never fill out to the point where you're like, oh, they look strong. But the way that these NBA trainers are and these workout programs and these regimens and what they're eating, KD, you're not pushing KD around. He don't look built like that, but he still is strong, like Greg was saying. I think that's the thing that he'll learn at that next level.
Yeah. He'll
learn how to build the strength.
Yep.
And build the power to be able to withhold and stand what he needs to do and be able to withstand also the 82-game season. Hopefully better than the likes of like a Porzingis, who has kind of like the same frame but has not been able to stay healthy at all.
But the one thing about Porzingis, he looks comfortable in his body. The weight he's at, the muscle that he has, he looks lean and comfortable.
I'm glad you guys brought up Porzingis. Do me a favor this draft season and don't be lazy and compare Porzingis to Chet just because they're two tall white guys. I feel like every year we get this.
I think he's more skilled.
He's more skilled than Porzingis was coming into the NBA, which is actually pretty scary. But he's more skilled, which is why I think he's the number one pick. I think that's the skill at that size. It's a little bit different. I think Chet is the number one pick because of his ability to handle the ball, and he's got guard skill with that height. Porzingis wasn't like that. Porzingis was an amazing shooter at that size, could affect shots to the basket, but it really was the shooting that really set him apart early on in his career. he had an amazing set shot game and can turn around over the shoulder, each shoulder, because he's so tall you can't contest it. But Chet can do those things, and he also has just got like a rack attack. Like he's got a game, like going to the basket. So he's got a bag. You know, it's not a Birkin yet, but it's a bag.
Yeah, so just imagine when he puts on weight, and you know that post game gets more efficient.
Right, and also be careful with Paolo. Like there could be a little buyer's remorse. I don't know how I feel about Paolo as a face of your franchise type of guy.
Like a Melo to me.
Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to explain yourself here.
You don't.
I mean, he's real skilled. He's probably the most skilled guy coming into the NBA out of the draft right now. Kind of like Melo was. I mean, his game was ready right off the bat. He's got post moves.
Yeah.
Off the dribble, a pull up jumper.
Yeah, I think Powell's the safest pick you could make in the draft. Don't get me wrong, he's safe. I just feel like there's just when I watch him, there's just like this hesitancy to take over games that guys as talented as he is should do. The reason why Duke has lost a lot of these games is because he does not take over in these moments. He doesn't rise at home. Carmelo was a dog in college at Syracuse, though. Carmelo was a damn good product.
We're not talking about Syracuse Carmelo. We're talking about Carmelo in regards of he has the ability to take over. Carmelo obviously does take over when he was at his prime.
Yeah.
We're talking about in that regard that he has the skill set like a Melo to do that. The issue that you have with him, though, is that he doesn't.
I don't even think he's as skilled as Melo was coming out. I don't think it's a comparable thing. Skills wise,
the same skill set. Obviously he's not Melo, because if that was the case, Duke would be in a different.
If he was Melo, he's the number one pick. Let's just put it that way. Melo was number one in this draft.
We're saying basically he has the same. He's in the same breath in that regard. Like he has the post game, he has the moves, he has the skills.
There's stuff
the
there.
bag obviously isn't as deep as Melo's, because Melo we talking about is an all-time skilled player, straight from day one at Syracuse, all-time skilled player, ever. The thing is, that's what we're saying. He has that potential to be that, but it seems like, as you mentioned, in times where it's time to take over, it's time to just go out there and be aggressive, where it's times like that Duke UNC game, you don't let that happen with that skill set and having that dog. I think sometimes what we've seen throughout the season at different points, we've seen that AD complex. We know you're a top 5 talent. Powell is a top 5 talent. Sometimes he doesn't match it up with his drive, his energy, that dog of let me go take over this game. Mm-hmm. Let me go drop 40, put my foot on their throats from the jump. Let y'all know I'm the best player in this gym. Y'all know it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to drop 20 in the first half. We're going to be up by 10. Game's over.
It was like
Duke has a team like that, where if he steps up and does his from jump, I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to put my foot on y'all throat. We're going to be up by 10-15 at halftime. Our team is deep enough. You're not coming back 10-15 up, and I keep my foot on your throat.
Yeah, exactly my point. And I don't really see it. I saw earlier this season. It looked like he kind of had that early this season and lost a little bit of momentum. That's why I worry about with him. So, I mean, look, I think he's still a good pick for any team that picks him. I'm not saying he's going to be a good player. Could be an all-star. Could be. But I can say that about a lot of people. So
you could say it about a lot of people.
Exactly.
It's all comes down to the coaching once they get to the NBA.
Yeah.
How he pulls out the best out of them.
I mean, all these guys are talented coming into the draft, but I mean, you got to maximize that talent.
Right. Well, that's what we do here. We maximize our talent because we stay ready. So we ain't got to get ready. Bench Mob, we out. Peace.